Hello and welcome to this introduction on myths and facts of the pelvic floor and diastasis recti with me, Amy Snelling. For those of you who don't know me, I research and write the FASTA course, Core and Pelvic Floor Training Specialist. Now, when it came to writing this course, I had to fact check a lot of information and advice that's currently taught to us as personal trainers when we are interested in becoming pre- and postnatal qualified. And I was pretty shocked to find that much of what we are taught isn't supported by evidence, or it's taught based on outdated evidence. So let's get into some of the background about why we have so much misinformation circling and then what we're going to do about it. So over half of women who have experienced symptoms of pelvic floor dysfunction do not seek help from a healthcare professional. There are two main reasons for this. One is that they think that having pelvic floor dysfunction is normal, or two, they are too embarrassed to go and talk to somebody about it. So what this then causes is people see online different advice and different things about the pelvic floor. And because they're too embarrassed to go and speak to somebody in person, they're then going to turn to social media where it feels a little bit more safe and comfortable to look for advice or to seek out information when it comes to pelvic floor health. The same is true for diastasis recti. According to a recent study, a significant number of postpartum women turn to social media as their primary source of information regarding diastasis recti. And with more and more people turning to social media for advice, in the same time that our healthcare system is very underfunded, this combination just creates a perfect environment for misinformation to thrive. So as a result, trust in our healthcare system declines even more, and people start to question why the NHS hasn't addressed certain health topics with them, and they're seeing these things widely circulating online, and that's just leading to confusion and doubt. They're seeing all this stuff on social media, yet their GP, midwife, whoever else has not mentioned it. I've had 3 pregnancies and I've never had a midwife or a GP mention diastasis recti or check for it, but we'll talk about that later on. So let's just see what pelvic floor health looks like according to social media. So these are just some of the posts that I managed to find that have all been posted recently on Instagram. So it just gives you an idea of what perhaps people are being told or shown if they are seeking out pelvic floor healthcare information. So this idea that you need to relax on overactive pelvic floor, that the secret to training your pelvic floor is breathing, not Kegels, that there's exercises that are even better than Kegels. There's also this popular hashtag of Team No Kegels. So, should we even be doing those anymore? And it's really interesting to me because pre and postnatal personal trainers and course providers, they criticize the healthcare system for not doing more. They say we need more pelvic health checks for women who are pregnant and postpartum. They'll then tell you that women's health is underfunded and under-researched, but yet in the same breath, they will give you some very specific exercises or tell you that they've got secrets or alternatives to traditional pelvic floor treatments, implying that the established methods have somehow failed us. And this further drives a wedge between people and their healthcare teams. So let's have a look at what diastasis recti looks like according to social media. So again, lots and lots on safe diastasis recti workouts, exercises that are bad for diastasis recti, how to heal your diastasis recti and get rid of your mummy pooch or your mummy tummy, the fact that you need to correct coning or bulging. Lots and lots of big words that you definitely won't have heard your midwife or GP talking about. And you're then going on the internet and seeing all these posts and going, well, why are they not telling me about this? Do I need to worry about this? Do I need to avoid XYZ exercise? And unfortunately, many women report feeling uninformed and unsupported by the healthcare system in research. And this is only going to contribute to their reliance on social media. So let's pull out a few central themes from these posts, and I'll say what the claims are. Then when you come to the talk in November, we're going to go through these and unpick them using some research to see if they are a myth or a fact. So the first one is this idea that there are pelvic floor or diastasis safe exercises versus unsafe exercise. So the concern here is intra-abdominal pressure. So that's the pressure inside your abdomen measured in millimeters of mercury. Normally it's quite low, but it can fluctuate and increase during activities like heavy lifting, coughing, or straining. So some people believe that there is a way to better manage this internal pressure by avoiding certain exercises or modifying them in a way, and that then makes them safe for diastasis or the pelvic floor. Doning and combing comes under this because that is also supposed to be about managing pressure more effectively. So we'll be talking about whether that's a myth or a fact. Are there pelvic floor and diastasis safe exercises versus unsafe exercises? The second one, you can breathe yourself to a healthy pelvic floor / heal diastasis recti. So this idea that breathing exercises or certain breathing techniques can reduce urinary incontinence, rehab the pelvic floor, heal diastasis recti. So we've got diaphragmatic breathing, which is a popular one, sometimes known as 360 breathing, and then also hyperpressive exercises, also known as hyperpressive abdominal gymnastics. And the claims are that these breathing techniques are better for you than Kegels or other exercises. So, I mean, hyperpressives have got a long list of, supposed benefits, helping with urinary incontinence, prolapse, back pain, diastasis recti, and a load more things. So is that a myth? Is that a fact? Can breathing exercises give you a healthier pelvic floor and heal your diastasis? The third one is that your pelvic floor is overactive or hypertonic. I feel like this one has become more popular in the last sort of year or two. And the concern is that your pelvic floor is too tight, it can't relax. And that's also known as overactive or hypertonic pelvic floor. So you'll see all of these words used interchangeably. Some people mention gripping or clenching. And an overactive pelvic floor is linked to pain on penetration, urinary incontinence, low back pain, hip pain, constipation, and just general aches and pains all over that sort of, your pelvis area, lower back, stomach, everywhere. So that if you have any of those pain or other symptoms, this is a sign that your pelvic floor is overactive. So we'll be looking at whether that is a myth or a fact. Can we tell people that they've got an overactive pelvic floor? And if we can, what can we do about it? The next one is specific exercises can heal diastasis recti. So we've got lots and lots of information online at the minute, social media, pre and postnatal fitness instructors and personal trainers claiming that there is a specific set of exercises that you can do which will not only heal diastasis recti on an anatomical level, but also reduce the appearance of the protrusion from the abdomen. So that outward protruding part that people call the mummy pooch or the mummy tummy. Diastasis is also said to be a weak core. So again, there are these specific exercises that are supposed to strengthen the core and therefore improve your symptoms of diastasis recti. And you'll often see some before and after pictures where somebody's got a protruding stomach and then a flat stomach. And apparently the key to those two things were to get from one to the other were a set of specific core exercises with quite a lot of emphasis on this deep core. So again, we'll be looking at whether that is myth or fact. And the last one, that there are exercises better than Kegels for your pelvic floor. Now, some of the posts on social media on this topic have been liked and shared thousands of times, okay? And the claim is that there is a set of functional movements that are better for your pelvic floor than pelvic floor muscle training or Kegels due to them activating more pelvic floor muscles. So we'll be looking at, is there evidence for that? Is it a myth or is it a fact? So you can join me at the Faster Convention 2024 to spend 2 days with 14 amazing presenters, all from different backgrounds with different specialities. Now, the convention is built with the goal of improving every trainer who attends. So it's limited in spaces, so you need to get your tickets now, and everyone gets to see every talk. So there's no overlap in talks. You'll get to see every single one if you want to. And there's no sponsors or sales, or you have to buy this technique. It's just information that hopefully you can use with your clients as soon as you return to work. Okay, so I hope to see you there, where we will be digging into whether these things are myth or fact.